Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. There's a look at a very familiar yellow school bus. There are a number of them out right now picking up a lot of the students in the French board, as well as those students out on the Quebec side. 3 million children across Canada are being bused to school on a daily basis. About 16,000 of those right now today as they're heading back to the Quebec side, as well as the French board here, and we are expecting a couple thousand more when we return to school after the Labor Day weekend as well. Joining us from the Canada Safety Council, their General Manager, Raynald, Marchand. Great to have you back on the show.
Yes,
and the numbers are really, when you think about 3 million children safely getting to and from school every day, it's quite the feat.
Yeah, it is. Indeed, according to Transport Canada, it is 16 times safer for the kids to get on the school bus to go to school than if mom and dad takes them to school. However, there is risk associated with school bus transportation.
What are we looking at, the risk coming from the child's perspective or the drivers that are right now out on the street, hopefully not getting too frustrated that traffic is now a little bit slower?
Well, definitely there's a little bit of both. For the driver's side, they have to be reminded that the fines are quite stiff, up to $2,000. It's 9 points, demerit points on your driving permit. And there will be frustration because they have to stop for the school bus. There's going to be more traffic out there. They're still going to want to get to work. So they will need to take that into consideration, leaving a little earlier. There's also the kids that run for the school bus, may not be thinking about their own safety. Cyclists, kids that don't qualify for the school bus but go with their bicycle to school.
The drivers right now, as we just mentioned, we are starting to see a lot more traffic on the roads this morning. There's that frustration element. They're trying to get to and from. There's added traffic on the roads, but there's quite the penalty for people who are not paying attention to what's happening with their kids.
Yeah, absolutely. A $2,000 fine, 9-point demerit points. Drivers also have to be reminded that school buses operate a little bit differently. When it comes to all the railway crossing, the school bus will stop even though cars don't have to stop. So there is rear-end collision that happens as a result of it. So driver has to be reminded that they will stop regardless of whether there's flashing lights or not.
And it's one thing for the drivers, but also for parents to remind their children that a lot of safety, the reminders of what needs to happen while on the school, but also within the perimeters of the school bus as well.
Within around the perimeters, the speed limit will be in place during the school hours, so parents and all drivers needs to be mindful of that. There's some little kids that is their first year to go to school, so they may not know exactly how to deal with the traffic. So it's important to give them a chance to get into the crosswalk. Some drivers are impatient. If the kid doesn't move right away, they go. Well, eventually the kids will get frustrated and will take a risk as well.
And that's where the risks are happening, around, when the stop sign goes out, when the barrier comes through. That seems to be the point where you want to be most paying attention, especially for the kids.
Well, most kids are injured or killed in and around the school bus, usually by other drivers not respecting the school bus signs, or on occasion by the school bus itself. So it's important for the kids to make sure that they stay away from the bus when the bus approaches to the stop, and that when they get off the bus to take 2 big steps, and then if they're crossing in front, to take 10 big steps in front of the bus, wait for the bus drivers to indicate that they can cross.
These are all tips that parents can find. There's a website that you suggest a lot of people go to.
Absolutely. We have the elmer.ca website for the little kids and the Canada Safety Council website for the adults and the teachers.
Just a reminder this morning, there are fines. You need to be careful. The traffic is starting to build up, so leave a little bit earlier. Understand that we are going to be going through the next couple weeks. Just, the drivers, the kids, everyone's just trying to get to and from safely to school as well as from work. So keep all of those pointers in mind, and especially too for the kids, take a look at that website. Thank you so much. Wishing you a very safe year for the 3 million children across the country that are going to be taking the school bus as well.